Welcome to the Elite Realty Group Podcast, where you receive the most up-to-date, relevant real estate information anywhere on the planet. Whether you're buying, selling, investing, or simply trying to understand today's real estate market, you're in the right place. And now, let's get you to the Elite Realty Group Podcast. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Elite Realty Group Podcast, where you receive the most up-to-date, relevant real estate information anywhere on the planet. Now, if you're thinking about buying or selling a home in Morristown, Tennessee, Hamblen County, or anywhere in the Lakeway Area, I want to give you 10 decisions that can matter far more than whether you pick the prettiest house or you receive the highest offer, because some of the most expensive real estate mistakes do not look like mistakes when you first make them. The house is beautiful. The payment, it checks the boxes. The offer gets accepted. Everybody's excited. And then 6 months, 2 years, 5 years later, somebody says, I wish I had thought about that before I signed the agreement. Today, we are slowing the process down. So whether you're buying in Morristown, looking at a property around Cherokee Lake, moving toward Jefferson City or Dandridge, considering acreage in Grainger County, or selling a home anywhere in the Lakeway area, these are 10 decisions worth thinking through before you get to the closing table. By the end of this episode, you're going to know exactly what Morristown area buyers should think about beyond the purchase price, why location matters differently across the Lakeway area, and what sellers should consider before spending money on improvements. Why lake property, acreage, and rural property, they require different questions. How to decide whether a home fits your lifestyle rather than merely your loan approval. Why choosing the right local pros matter, and what buyers and sellers should ask before making a major real estate decision. Here's decision number 1. Buying because somebody says renting is throwing your money away. Listen to this. Imagine a young couple renting in Morristown. They hear the same thing over and over again. You're throwing money away on rent. So what do? They begin to go look at houses. But one of them may have a job opportunity coming maybe, let's say, in Knoxville. They are not sure whether they're going to even remain in Hamblen County. They may need to relocate within the next couple of years. Let's think about this. Should these people just automatically buy? I don't think not necessarily. Listen, homeownership can be a wonderful thing, but buying and selling, they both involve cost. Ownership, it comes with maintenance, taxes, insurance, repairs. And there's honestly no guarantee what the market will do in a short ownership period. The question is not simply, can I buy a house in Morristown, Tennessee? The better question is this: does buying a house in Morristown make sense for the season of my life? That's a completely different conversation. Sometimes buying is absolutely the right move. Sometimes renting for a period is wiser than that move. The point is not whether one is always better than the other. The point is that the decision should match your life, not somebody else's opinion. Here's decision number 2. Shopping, I see this all the time, at the maximum loan approval. Suppose somebody qualifies for a $400,000 home. That does not automatically mean they should look exclusively at $400,000 homes in Morristown or Jefferson City. The lender does not live the rest of the buyer's life. The lender does not know how important traveling is to that family. The lender does not know whether that buyer financially helps their aging parents. They do not know whether daycare may be something that's coming. They do not know whether the family wants to give generously to their church. They don't know those things. They don't know how much money the family wants left over at the end of the month. The lender helps determine what may be financially possible. But listen, your lifestyle will determine what is financially comfortable. Qualification or pre-qualification, it tells you what may be possible, but your life determines what's comfortable for you. Before buying, look at the home price and ask, if my expenses increased unexpectedly next month, would I still be enjoying being the owner of this house? Here's number 3. Location means more than just saying Morristown. This is especially important in this marketplace. Someone may tell me, I want to live in Morristown, but what really does that mean? Do you need easy access maybe out to the interstate? Maybe because you work over in Knoxville? Do you want to be near Cherokee Lake? Maybe you're wanting acreage. Maybe you want city utilities. Maybe you want to just be out rural. Who knows what you want? But would Jefferson City or Talbott work just as well for you? Maybe Bean Station, Rutledge, that area, would that fit your lifestyle better? Listen, 2 homes can both have a Morristown mailing address and create very different daily experiences. The house, it can be changed, y'all, but location, that's much harder for you to change. You can replace the flooring. You can remodel the kitchen. You can do all the upgrades, updates, everything that you want to do, but you cannot easily move the property 10 miles closer to where you wish that it was. So before falling in love with a house, ask yourself, would I still want this location if the house were completely empty? Here's decision number 4. Lake property. You need to know this. Lake property is in its own category. We live in an area where buyers may be looking at Cherokee Lake or Douglas Lake. And lake property introduces totally additional questions you need to consider. A buyer may see the water and immediately fall in love, and that's completely 100% understandable. That's what everybody does. But before purchasing, ask these questions. What kind of access does this property actually have? What does the shoreline look like? Are there restrictions that matter for your intended use? What utilities serve this property? How does the driveway perform? What does maintenance look like? If there's a dock or structure that's associated with the water, what do you need to verify about that structure? Does the property work for your lifestyle year around, or does it simply photograph beautifully in July or August? Lake property can be incredible, but water should not cause a buyer to stop doing due diligence. Buy the lake lifestyle with your eyes open, not simply with your emotions turned on. Here's decision number 5. Rural property and acreage, which a lot of people want. They have different questions also. The Lakeway area has something many buyers love. That is land. You may look toward Grainger County, Jefferson County, the outskirts of Hamblen County, and find a property offering acreage and privacy that you're wanting. But acreage changes the conversation. Where are the property boundaries? What type of access to the property currently exists? Is there a private road? What about the utilities? Is there a well? Am I going to need a septic? Can I hook to public water? What maintenance comes with this land that I'm about to purchase? Are there restrictions in effect that would essentially affect what you intend to do with the property? If you want animals, additional structures, or another use, have you verified your plans make sense for that property? Don't assume. Many people do this because you own acreage. You can automatically do anything you want with it. Most times you can't. The right rural property, it can be fantastic, but the buyer needs to understand actually what they are purchasing. Let's go to number 6. I love this one. The payment is not the entire cost of home ownership. See, so many people just think this. Let's say a buyer says my mortgage payment that's almost what I'm paying in rent anyway. That can be exciting to just hear. But home ownership introduces more responsibilities. Now we got to think about HVAC, the roofs, the plumbing, electrical repairs, appliances, landscaping, insurance, taxes, all that goes with becoming a homeowner. Being a homeowner is great. And if you buy a larger property or acreage outside of Morristown, now you may have equipment to think about. Now maybe you have maintenance cost of your lawn and all those things that you never had while renting. Listen, the payment matters. That's a big thing. But the property has cost of ownership too. You need to keep that in mind. Here's a question I want every buyer to ask themselves. What will my financial look like the day after closing? What will that look like the day after that happens? Because the house keeps costing money after the closing attorney, the title company, hands you the keys, okay? Here's decision number 7. Think about this one. This one really goes to sellers. We need to talk about sellers just for a moment, okay? When you're a seller and you're thinking about this, being a home seller does not mean you should just blindly renovate your house. Suppose a Morristown homeowner wants to sell. They got $20,000 available to improve their property. Should those people just go ahead and remodel the kitchen? Maybe they should consider replacing the worn carpet, paint it, repair the aging system of some kind like HVAC, improve the curb appeal, or should they keep the 20 grand and leave the home alone? There's not a universal answer, y'all. This is why sellers should talk to a local real estate pro before making major pre-sale improvements to the house. A seller can spend $20,000 fast, and they could spend it on changing something that buyers would have accepted while ignoring a much less expensive issue that is hurting the marketability of the home. Ask yourself, are we improving value? Are we improving marketability? Are we fixing a genuine problem with the home? Or are we simply making the house look more like the seller personally wants the house to look? Those are not always the same thing. Here's decision number 8. Do not choose your professional only because you know them. I got something to say here. Small communities, they're relationship driven. Our business, we get a lot of relationship business. It's especially true in East Tennessee. We know people. We go to church together. Our children, we attend school together. We do activities together. It's somebody's cousin. We have friends in real estate, mortgage, lending, inspections, insurance, and construction. We got friends in all those areas, and relationships do matter, but so does competence. Hiring someone you know is perfectly fine, but they should still earn your business based on knowledge, communication, professionalism, and the ability to handle your particular situation. You should ask yourself, if I did not personally know this person, would their experience and approach, would it still make me want to hire them? If the answer is yes, great. By all means, hire them. You have a relationship and you know the competence. That's a powerful combination. Here's decision number 9. Stop making Morristown real estate decisions based on these national headlines. This is a big one. People see national housing headlines and assume it tells them exactly what's happening in Morristown, Tennessee. But can I tell you, real estate is intensely local. A national article may discuss a market thousands of miles away. Meanwhile, one price range in Hamblen County may behave differently from another. Lake property may behave differently from a subdivision home, and let me tell you, it does. Acreage may behave differently from an entry-level home, and let me tell you, it does. Jefferson County may have different inventory pressures than another nearby area. It's all true. Don't make a decision on a local decision exclusively on a national headline. Now, national trends matter. Mortgage rates matter. Economic conditions, they matter. But ultimately, buyers and sellers need to understand what is happening with properties like mine in my area at my price point. That is the market that affects your decision locally. Here's number 10. Know that closing is not the finish line. Closing feels like the finish line. Everybody signs, we're all happy, it's great, keys exchange hands, we're taking pictures, we're posting them on social media. Congratulations all around. But for the homeowner, closing is actually just the beginning. You need to do this. Keep your documents. Understand all the warranties on things that you may have. Learn where important shutoffs are located, especially that water. Know your HVAC system. Understand your septic system if you have one. Learn the responsibilities that come with that acreage that you just purchased. Review your insurance. Create for yourself a maintenance plan. And very importantly, build reserves. Homeownership works better when the owner becomes a student of their own property. A successful transaction matters, but successful ownership matters even more, okay? So here's my perspective on all this. After years of watching real estate transactions in the Lakeway area, one thing becomes clearer and clearer, at least to this real estate broker. The best real estate professionals are not simply helping people complete transactions. They're literally helping people think. Sometimes that means slowing the buyer down. Let's slow down a little bit. Sometimes that means challenging the amount someone actually might be wanting to spend. Sometimes that means telling a seller that a $30,000 improvement, that might not be the smartest move for you. Sometimes that means encouraging someone to look beyond Morristown and Jefferson City, Dandridge, Rutledge, or another nearby community. You may want to look outside of here because the right property may be 20 minutes away. Sometimes that means saying, this may be a great house for you, but I'm not convinced it's the right house for you. That is what a professional, and that's what professional advice should look like. The goal should not simply be, can we get this deal to closing? Can we just push it through? The better goal, can we help this person make a decision they will still feel good about years from now? Listen, homes matter to us. We're a real estate company, but they matter because people matter. Behind almost every transaction in Morristown, Hamblen County, Jefferson County, Grainger County, and the rest of the Lakeway area is a family making one of the largest financial decisions of their lives. So I don't want to have people asking only, can we make this deal work? Can we push it through? I want them asking, will we still believe this is a good decision after all this excitement is gone? For the buyer, that might mean buying less house. For the seller, that might mean waiting. For somebody looking at Cherokee Lake, it might mean investigating the property more thoroughly before falling in love with that lake view. For somebody purchasing that acreage, it may mean understanding the land as well as the house. And honestly, for us real estate professionals, it may mean giving advice that does not necessarily make the transaction easier. That is the standard. This has been, ladies and gentlemen, the Elite Realty Group Podcast, where you receive the most up-to-date, relevant real estate information anywhere on the planet. If you live in Morristown, Hamblen County, or anywhere in the Lakeway area and you are thinking about buying or selling real estate, share this episode with someone who may need to hear it. And tell me, please, in the comments, what's the biggest thing people overlook when buying a home in East Tennessee? Let me leave you with these three key takeaways. First, Morristown real estate is local. Do not make a Lakeway area decision based solely on national headlines. Second, buy for your life, not simply your qualification. Price, location, maintenance, commute, land, and lifestyle all matter. And third, good professionals help people think. The goal should not be simply getting this thing pushed to closing. It should be making a decision that the client is still happy with years later. Thank you guys again for joining me on this episode of the Elite Realty Group Podcast, where you receive the most up-to-date real estate information anywhere on the planet. You guys be safe and be blessed. I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for listening to the Elite Realty Group Podcast. If you've enjoyed today's episode, be sure to follow or subscribe so you never miss an episode, and share the podcast with someone who could benefit from the information. We appreciate you being part of our audience. Until next time, this has been the Elite Realty Group Podcast.